Hi everybody, Bonnie here. I hope you guys are ready for a fun little mystery challenge. 2 pages, no pictures. I have no idea what it's going to be. And I am so excited. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Cassandra of Craftably Ever After, for this mystery fun. So usually when I get a pattern, I read through the whole thing and figure out, okay, hook size, yarn, and all of that. I thought this time I'm just gonna kind of crochet it as I read it. So we have the Mystery Amigurumi head and body worked as a one piece. Okay, starting with the body and ending at the top of the head. All right, I wonder what color I should get, unless it's, oh wait, light pink. I want to see if I can do the whole thing with the Lion Brand 24/7 cotton, because I'm kind of obsessed with that yarn right now. And they do have a light pink, which I happen to have this one right here. I think it's Pink Lemonade. Yep, Pink Lemonade. So I'll use this, and I'll probably get my 2.75 hook. I don't want to go too big, but I don't want to like struggle with really tight stitches since I don't know what I'm making. So we're going to go with a 2.75. And, oh, I'll need a stitch marker. Oh, we've got this one that Amber made from Crochet. So, yay, here we go. All right, do I have the end? Ooh. So, looks like we've got like the typical start to a body or to a head. I am working in the head, or the body though. So, you guys, it's light pink. I hope I'm not making something that's naked, you know, like, anyway, okay, let's get going here. All right. What, can you guys tell what it is yet? Just kidding. Sorry. So I've increased up, and now I just need to do 5 rows. I will see you guys in a second. I'm going to finish off the body here, and then I will get back to you. All right, so there's the body all decreased. Now, it does not say to stuff, but I was given that hint that yes, I need to stuff this pattern. I don't really pay attention when patterns tell me to stuff anyway. I just do it when I want to. But I'm going to make a little note right there, and then let's get this thing stuffed. And I need my stick. I pack down the stuffing when I want things to keep their shape with the little stick that comes in the polyfill box. I guess you could use a chopstick or even a pencil or something. All right, yeah, that's a good spot to stuff. And I don't know if this should be flat or what, so I'm gonna just kind of let it take shape, and I'm not gonna like make it flat on purpose. Yeah, well, it sits there. It reminds me of a little piggy's belly. And then I just really push that down in there. You can feel it like getting firm in there. Kind of poke it. All right, I think that's good because I don't want those stitches to pull too much, and I like to leave myself a little bit of room when I'm crocheting this next row, because I just hate it when I grab the stuffing with my crochet hook. So I know I still need to stuff that a little bit, but I think it'll be fine. And then I always give it a little roll. Whoops, I want my stitch marker. Just to, like, you know, shape it a little. And now I believe we are onto the head. You guys, when I was folding this down, I think I saw that the legs are like green and yellow or something. What? Okay, let's get this head done, which is still in pink. Oh, my little mouse down here from Arnhem Southern Mimi makes keepsakes. You guys know Mimi. Her husband makes these 3D printed animals. Oh my goodness. So I'm just using this little tiny mouse to hold down the paper. His name is Jacques from Cinderella. Okay, it's getting big. So this is going to be the head right here. Let's keep crocheting. Looking good. It kind of looks like a human if you tip it upside down. It's looking pretty good. Don't you think so, Jacques? Could go inside of there. Your little mouse house. Alright, I think I'm gonna stuff some now because I still need to get that neck, or what I'm assuming is a neck. Yeah, it's a neck. I need to get that a little more firmly stuffed. I think I'm gonna start crocheting maybe at least one or two more rows and then I'll stuff it some more. Okay, let's see here. Come on, little string. It's like, it's looking a little coney. But it's pretty cute. I mean, it's pink, so. I think I'm gonna go at least one more decrease round before I really start to stuff. Kind of looks like a lamp. I just pulled a huge thing of stuffing out. That might be a bit much. The little mouse is gonna get covered. You know, this kind of reminds me of an Easter bunny, like shape of the head. There's still room, but I want to do another row decrease before I really stuff it, because I know I'll get the stuffing caught in my hook. So there's one more row of decrease before I cinch it closed, so I don't need my stitch marker anymore, and get this stuffed as much as I can. Oh, I like that shaping. It's losing its cone head likeness. Okay, I think I'm going to call that good stuffing wise because I don't want to overstuff and ruin any shaping. So, I'm just going to get that closed up. All closed up. When I weave my ends in, I always go with a stitch. Like, I would never just randomly put it right through here because then you get this a line of yarn. I always kind of like follow a stitch down and let it come out wherever it wants to. Okay, let's see what's next. You're done with pink, I guess. Legs, make two, one in green and one in yellow. All right, green and yellow yarn. You know, this little mouse is a really good paperweight. All right, so we've got green, woo, look at that green, and yellow. The other green that I have in the 24/7 cotton is more of a camo green, and I don't think that really goes nicely. And that's the only yellow I have in the 24/7 cotton. So, all right, what was this color called? Lime and lemon. Oh, look at that. Lemon and lime. So, one in green, one in yellow. Let's start with the green. Let's see. You know what? Maybe my hook can find the end. I don't think that's the end. Okay. Look at that yarn bar. It's beautiful. So let's make a couple legs. As soon as I find the actual end. Oh, it's looking pretty cute. This is a leg, and we are at the end of page 1. There's still a couple more rows to the leg, so excuse me, Jacques, I need to get the other paper. Alright, little buddy. Oh, I folded that really crooked. Let's just redo it, Jacques. You can still stay there. And we have a few more rows on the green leg, and then I will make the yellow one. Okay, so here is our leg. Now it says to flatten the leg and single crochet it closed and then sew it to the body. I think I'm going to stuff it some, but still, you know, be able to flatten it a bit. So yeah, I think that'll work. Well, we'll find out, right? Okay, so the bottom of it is stuffed, like the foot part, I guess, and then the leg. I don't want to stuff it too much, but I don't want to stuff it too little. You know what I mean? Let's see here. That I can still put flat. Oh, this is like, it looks like a clown a little bit, you know, like a cute pastel clown maybe, because I've got another leg to do in yellow. I don't know what the arms are going to be. Okay, let's see, between 7 and 8. So the leg will go right there-ish. Does that look too bulgy? But if I unstuff it some, it'll just like cave in. I don't know, I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go with that. Leave a tail. Alrighty. Before sewing on legs, when I single crochet any limb closed, I always bring the yarn back down to kind of make it even on both sides. Otherwise there tends to be a gap. Then I just bring it back through. Because it doesn't really matter what side, at least I hope it doesn't matter what side your yarn's coming out of to sew on your leg. Alright, here's the second leg. Let's get stuffed. Excuse me, Jacques, I need to see if it's about the same size. I think it's pretty good. So we've got the head and body and our 2 legs. Now let's see about those arms. Arms are one in blue and one in purple. Okay, one in blue and one in purple. So let's see what we got. Okay, I have this blue, which is called Sky. I think that goes pretty well. And then I've got this purple, which is called Purple. Hi guys, voiceover Bonnie here. So a few days after I had recorded the first part of the video, I got sick and lost my voice. I had to mute this part of the video because my family came home and they were being loud, so I just continued to record. Here you can see I am working on the arm, and I knew that I would need to do a voiceover, so I apologize if my voice is a little bit rough. I feel fine, but I really want to get this video out to you guys. So this is obviously the arm. Again, the pattern did not say to stuff it, but I knew better and I did end up stuffing it. It also didn't say what side this specific color should have been on. So right here I've got the blue arm with the green leg, and I think I switched that up when I sew on the parts. So I was just measuring right there, seeing how this is going to lay, making sure I didn't overstuff that arm. It needed a little bit more, and I really like my stuffing stick, you guys. Like, I use that a lot. So there's my arm. I think it looks pretty good. And yep, just giving it a little test there. It works with the leg. Now, where you were supposed to sew the arms on, it said to sew them higher up, which would have been kind of coming out of the bottom of the head. So I didn't really listen to that part of the pattern either. Sorry, Cassandra. Here we are on this second arm. I love this color, this purple color. So I found the yarn end right away on that one. Our second arm here. And I am going to stuff it just so it matches this other blue one, or the other blue arm. And here we go. This is so weird, like seeing myself crochet and then talk about it. I've never done a voiceover before. Thanks for putting up with me, you guys. This is really cool to watch. Okay, anyway, so there we go. We're stuffing. And then we've got the arms. The arms are pretty good. I still don't know at this point what the amigurumi is going to be. I mean, I'm assuming it's an animal. But you guys, I did think it might have been a person at first with that pink yarn. And I'm glad I was wrong. So I've got the body pieces all crocheted now. And I'm just going to decide, here I'm deciding how to sew them on. And because the green color was listed for the foot first, I sewed that one on first, which would have been, I think, like at the right side of the Ami. And I did the same thing with the arms because it said to make a blue and then a purple. I just sewed the blue one on first. And that's how they ended up, because I didn't know, maybe they were supposed to be sewn on the opposite way, but I think it looks pretty good at this point. So I just went ahead and I pinned it in place where it said to put them. We've got our legs, and I'm making sure that they're even there. They look pretty good. They're right on the row that the pattern said, and again, like I said, the arms said to sew them a little bit higher, but I'm like, I don't think the arms are supposed to be coming out of the head. So here's me just sewing them on. This yarn, 24/7 cotton, it's really not that bad to sew with. It's not really splitty either when I'm crocheting with it. Oh yeah, and then of course my needle gets stuck, so I always have these pliers right next to me, and it works like a dream, just pulling that stuck needle out. I've tried those rubber little things you put on the end of your fingers to grab the needle, but I just end up poking myself and they don't really work, so pliers it is. I'm seeing if it would stand up right there, but it does not stand up. And I grab the blue arm first, and then I will put on the purple arm. Making sure again here, because I was like counting and recounting the rows, because I didn't want to, I wanted it to be as close to the pattern as possible. So I stuck the arm under like kind of on the neck area as close as I could to the head. Those those pins were not working for me though. They kept coming out. So I grabbed my knitting needles. I don't knit with these. You guys, I got these at the thrift store for like 25 cents, and they are the best Ami sticks ever. So I'm always using those knitting needles for little pieces that the pins just won't stay in. And I'm measuring for the purple. I'm sorry about my voice again, you guys. And there we go. I just went straight with it. The little knitting needle Ami sticks. Isn't that mouse so cute up in the corner? I just love it. Oh my goodness. And it really is a good paperweight. It's not that heavy though, so it's not like a huge like good paperweight, but it served its purpose. And it's just so cute up there in the corner. There we go. All of the limbs are on. At this point, I still don't know what type of animal this amigurumi is. And it doesn't stand up. But that's okay. It looks pretty cute though, just like that. The next thing that the pattern called for were the ears. And it said to make those in pink, the same pink as the head and the body. And I love pink, so yay pink. There are the ears. Now, these ears kind of gave it away as to what the animal is. If you guys know Cassandra at Craftably Ever After, you know her favorite animal to make. You know it's bears. And when she gave me this pattern, I'm like, okay, it's not going to be a bear, because that would just be too easy. Like, I would guess a bear, so I was not guessing a bear. And then as I'm making this, I'm like, well, maybe she is doing a bear just to throw me off. And you guys, it's a bear. Like, shocker, right? So here I'm just putting those ears on. I believe I did it right where the pattern said to put them on, with just like a little bit of a curve to them, and it's looking super, super cute. Once those ears are sewn on, there's another part to crochet, and that is the muzzle. The pattern said to do that in white. Pretty simple, standard muzzle there. But where it said to sew it on in the pattern, like sew it to the head, it didn't look right. There, I'm just like setting it on there like, okay, it's kind of in the middle, and then I'm like, well, it says to do it sew it between these certain rows, which were only, I think, a span of like 3 rows or something. And so I kind of squished it, like pretending, okay, this is how it would look if I sewed it like that. I mean, maybe if it was supposed to be a duck bill, but because of those ears, I'm like, no, the bear doesn't have a muzzle that's quite as squished. So I did just sew the muzzle onto the face where you normally would put a muzzle. And the pattern also said to stuff it a little bit, so I made sure to remember to leave a little opening there at the bottom, and I just put in a little bit of stuffing, and it looks really cute with that muzzle. Like, look how adorable that is. Cute little, it was kind of reminded me of a Care Bear, just like the shape of the head. Next thing is the nose. Now, it said light brown in the pattern. I didn't have any light brown or tan in 24/7 cotton. I just had this brown. I think it's Cafe au lait. And I thought, well, that'll work. That'll work. It's the nose. It's a smaller part. So I crocheted up that nose. Pretty simple. And then I was reading where to put it. And it's like, it wanted me to sew the nose on the outside of the circle, like not round 1 or over the magic ring. It was like the out, like 4 and 5, I think, rows 4 and 5. And I'm like, well, okay. I was just kind of setting it in different spots because my brain wanted to put it in the middle, like not on top. But that's what the pattern said, so I sewed it on the top, and you guys, it looks cute. It looks really cute up there. Totally looks like a Care Bear, but it's not. So then for the eyes had a little bit of a hint. They showed 2 X's, and it said where to put the eyes, so I'm just pinning it where I should be putting those eyes on, and to try to get those eyes straight and even with the nose and everything. And then I started sewing on those X eyes, and they reminded me of this character. I'm like, where have I seen a bear with eyes that are X's? And then I'm like, wait a minute, is this is this the bear from Animal Crossing? Is this Stitches from Animal Crossing? And at the time, I couldn't remember the colors of Stitches, but you guys, it's not Stitches. So, but I thought that was really cool. I'm like, oh, this could be. The last thing to crochet is the tail in the same color as the body. And I love it when patterns have a tail, especially for animals that really have tails in real life. So isn't that a cute little tail? There it is. This was so fun. Thank you, Cassandra, for allowing me to test your pattern. This was like one of the funnest things I have ever done. Bye, guys.